Hello everyone, my name is Exile, and welcome to my Coil Turn 4 guide. This is going to be from a Bard point of view, because I believe you get a better understanding of the fight from a DPS point of view. Turn 4 is a wave-based encounter. Each minute, a new wave of increasing difficulty will spawn. This puts all of Turn 4 on a strict DPS race. Wave 1 is a large group of Clockwork Spider. They have a small self-healing about them, but it's a very simple wave. All you're going to do is group everything up right in the middle and AoE them till they're all dead. When the last 1 to 2 spiders are really low, you're actually going to see our tank start moving to position. One's going to go to the north side of the room, and the other's going to go to the west side of the room to get ready for phase 2. AoEing is very, very TP intensive. So as a bard, I keep up my army speed on, and at the same time I battle voice it. I battle voice it here because it's actually going to be up in time for when the healers are going to need mana later on in the fight. I also want to note that when getting to position for phase 2, you want to have your main tank go to the west position and your off tank go to the north position. This is going to set up the tanking order later on in the fight for some of the bigger and badder enemies. Wave 2 is 2 groups of 1 Clockwork Knight and 1 Clockwork Soldier. This is where your group makeup will determine your kill order. The Knights have a shield against magical attacks, when the Soldiers have one against physical attack. However you split up your damage dealers, you want to make sure that the west tank, your main tank, has no adds up by the time the third wave spawns. Aggro in this phase is also very tricky, which is why you don't want all your DPS splitting up on the west side tanks. So for this case, we send out physical damage on our north or our off tank's knight, when our mage, our single black mage, starts on the west tank's soldier. As soon as our first knight is dead, we switch to the second knight. If you're very mage heavy or very magic heavy, and that soldier dies first, go ahead and swap to the other one. As soon as that knight's dead, we also have our off tank bring over the extra soldier over to the side, so that there's less movement needed and it sets us up better for the third wave. Being extremely physically heavy, we don't have a choice but to actually switch to the soldiers afterward. So you can see right here, all physical goes right through it. As soon as that shield is broken, you will actually stun them. So as right here, you can see the soldier is stunned, it's not doing any damage, just sitting there. As we continue DPSing the soldier, even though it's stunned, wave 3 drops. This is a hard DPS check, so we're in line for everything. Positioning here is very important. You don't want everyone scattered, you don't want everyone around because of the clockwork bugs that spawn. 4 clockwork bugs and 1 dreadnought. That's why we're so close up group here, and the tank is right in position for when it drops to pick up the dreadnought. All the bugs are going to come to one of the members in the group, the hard stack we had. So your main tank is going to pick up your dreadnought, spin it around real quick, and let it eat all 4 of the bugs. When the dreadnought's eating the bugs, it does not attack, it doesn't do anything, it's kind of in a stunned state. Each bug is going to give it a 25% damage increase, and at the same time it's going to heal the dreadnought. This is the first hard to make DPS check of turn 4. So we save all our cooldowns, we also use certain high potions or different things, whatever you have to do to make sure this dreadnought dies in the 1 minute span you have. It also seems like we are very short on time on there, but remember, as soon as the dreadnought dies, there's nothing else up, so the next wave is just going to come automatically. So wave 4 is a very big AoE phase again. TP songs goes up. It's going to be 4 spiders and 2 spinner rooks, a new enemy. Spinner rooks are the very big target here. They have 2 abilities you need to be careful of. One is going to be gravity flux, and the other is going to be pox. The gravity attack is just a general spell nuke that you can silence and interrupt, so if you can do it, get it off as a tank. If not, just gotta heal through it. The second spell, Pox, will actually lower your tank's health or anyone that get hit by it by 25% of the maximum, so it's a tank killer. It's very similar to Garuda's Slipstream in the sense that you can sidestep it. When they're casting it, they're not going to do anything else, so you just go move to the side and you won't be hit. So it kind of looked like we had this big mess of AoE going on, but it's actually kind of organized. What we did was, we had the 2 tanks each pick up a separate spinner rock. Group it all up in the middle, and then the tanks face them to the outside. So our group is actually stacked inside with the bugs, when the 2 tanks on the outside, the spinner rocks, tank them facing outwards. This allows us to make sure no one gets hit by the pox and make healing a lot easier for that fight. It was a general AoE, and we got everything done before the next phase. So towards the end of wave 4, you want to have your main tank go up to the north side again to get ready for phase 5. Phase 5 is one dreadnought, which your main tank is going to pick up, one knight and one soldier, which you're going to have your off tank pick up. You want to DPS a knight and soldier first. Also, try to keep a look on the right hand side and look at the timer. Because in this phase you're not going to kill everything, but you want to know when the next phase is going to come. So again, it's on a 1 minute timer. So look at the dungeon clock. We knew at 48:52 that the spawn happened. So we knew at 47:52 we're actually going to have the last and final phase, phase 6 right here. So phase 6 is actually your hardest transition. The actual phases are hard, and as soon as you get this transition down, you pretty much have the fight. Phase 6 is going to be one dreadnought, two spiders, a spinner rook, a knight, and a soldier. So your main tank that's tanking the north hand dreadnought is going to pick up the knight, when your off tank is going to pick up the soldier and the new dreadnought. You also want that tank to feed the two spiders to the new dreadnought. This is so that the heal does the healing and get rid of all the hard work you've done. You want your bard, if you have one, if not a ranged DPS, to get the spinner rook. I do this very simply by putting a flaming arrow down, which instantly gets me aggro. This brings the spinner rook to the west hand side where all our healers and DPS are grouped up, so as a melee DPS to quickly limit break it, almost instantly killing it. We also have our tanks here pop hallowed ground, because you don't want your healers pulling aggro. It's a very, very tricky aggro phase here, because remember, when you pull aggro, the mob will run to you and will have to hit you once. Something, of course, we don't want done. So with the spinner rook dead, we have our physical damage go on the knight, and our magical damage go on the soldier, just like pretty much everything else here. As soon as your first dreadnought, your main tank dreadnought, dies, you will actually have a general AoE going out that is very hard to heal through. So in order to maximize our survivability, we actually leave our monk on the new dreadnought along with a bard putting some dots up, things like that, to get it down to about 50% or so before we actually kill the old one. As soon as that old one is done, we all group up right behind the new dreadnought for AoE healing. Keep mana song up this entire time, because AoE healing is very expensive. Pop any and all cooldowns you have left, and burn this as quickly as humanly possible. This is going to be your main factor here, is whether or not you can actually kill turn 4. Again, DPS check. You guys tired of that yet? With some good DPS, some coordination, and a little bit of teamwork, turn 4 is down, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. Hope you guys have a lot of fun in Final Fantasy. Have a great day.